Right now, we're speaking with Miss Rhonda Loyd. How are you today, Rhonda?
I am doing good. How are you?
We're doing well. We're doing well. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, Rhonda.
Well, my name is Rhonda. I'm 51 years old. I am a cancer survivor. I had multiple myeloma cancer where the cancer actually eats your bone marrow. And sometimes it's difficult, but I managed through it. I beat the cancer, so I'm good.
Right on.
That's
That's
right.
good.
Yep,
That's
yep,
awesome.
yep.
Okay, so we brought Rhonda on here because she is one of those interesting people I said we were going to have. Other than surviving cancer, kicking cancer's ass, Rhonda is one of those people who's still actively dating. Am I saying it correctly? Actively
That is
dating?
correct.
She's
That
still
is correct.
actively dating in her later years. I don't want to give her age away out of respect for women.
She said it.
I already told
Oh,
you.
you did? I missed that.
51 and
Oh,
fabulous.
51 and fat. Okay, so she's one of those actively dating 50 and older people that we want to have on the show. So that's what we're going to talk about today with Rhonda. We're going to talk about what it's like to be over 50 and dating and maybe even seeking intimacy. If Rhonda feels like sharing that with us.
Oh, I have no problem. I'm an open book.
Okay, so tell us your story, Rhonda. What's it like being 50 or 51 and fabulous in the Atlanta metro area?
Well,
While trying
being
to date.
honest,
Being
I feel like
honest.
I'm picking from scratch. I am not joking.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay.
The men, yes, and I'm just being real. I can't fake the funk or just, I feel like we're picking from scratch. Us as women that really want the intimacy, being in a relationship, because you try all these dating apps, you see the same men on multiple dating apps, or you get to start getting to know them. I had a gentleman recently, really nice guy. We went to breakfast. Everything was good, which I thought. And it wasn't even 3 days later, he asked me when we're going to have sex. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Trying to date. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, well, I'm the wrong woman for you. You may want to go back out and throw your fish hook back out there and see what's out there for you, because you can't even have a decent conversation. Can I have an intellect conversation with you? Can I know your favorite color? Do you read magazines? Are you a reader? Do you like books? Are you still clubbing? You at home with your mama, living in her basement, driving a $70,000 car? All those things. I have a checklist.
Okay.
And it's awful trying to date. Here in Atlanta, hell, the men get more men than I do.
Well, that's another conversation.
That is another conversation.
So you mentioned something, Rhonda, that caught my attention, and I just want to go back to that for a second. You said you have a checklist, right?
Yes.
So do you think that checklist is helping you, or is it getting in your way while you're trying to date?
I don't think it's getting in my way. It's just about knowing who you are and what you want. Because if a man doesn't take care of his mom and respect his mom, how can I actually have him to respect me as a woman? Because you got to think about how they treat their sisters, how they treat their mom.
Right.
That plays a very, very important role. So when I'm talking to a guy, I'll ask him, oh, do you have sisters? Is your mom still alive? I lost my mom last year. So I'm very close with my family. So I need to know if he's close with his family. If he's like, oh, no, I don't even deal with them. I don't even go back. That may not be the person for me because I'm really family oriented.
All right.
Okay.
So that's really, really important. And that's one of my questions. I want to know how you interact with your family.
Okay. So
that's really important.
The checklist helps. It helps.
Yes, it does.
It helps you to weed those guys out.
Absolutely.
Wow. What do you think about that, Star?
I think having the checklist definitely helps to weed those guys out. But at the same time, she said something else that maybe the checklist helped her understand, which was when she mentioned that after the third date, he was like, so when are we going to do this? And you and I both talk a lot about the honesty factor.
Yes.
On the date. And so that was kind of like one of those, oh wow, he actually said it. Whereas I guess to a certain extent, I feel like I appreciate him from a distance because most guys won't even do that.
True.
You know, most guys won't even let it be known that that's what they want so that we can go on and move on with our lives because we know that's not on our checklist at this point in time. It may have been on our checklist as a woman way back when or a couple years ago or even a few months ago, but at least him having that honesty factor, I think we could appreciate him just for that. Because a lot of times men won't be that honest in the beginning.
But as a woman, when I meet a man and I didn't already size you up if I want to smash you or not, I'm just being honest.
Most women do that.
Right? I get ready. It's not about when you get ready, it's when I get ready. If he would have just been quiet a few more days, I might have cooked him a meal and said, hey, you want to come over and have a drink? But because he tried to push the envelope, I am in control of what I do.
But wait, you said a few, hold on, I'm going to get to you. Okay. You said a few more days, then you would have said something, so he just needed to hold on. So you prefer to be the aggressor in the situation?
I feel like yes, I am.
And you prefer that?
You dominatrix person because I have that strong personality. And all I do, if you just sit back and be quiet and listen, that's why I learned to listen to them. When I listen, I'm like, okay, check mark, check mark, check mark. Or I say, nah, I'm going to sit this one out. It's all about that listening. Us as women, we do not listen. If we shut up and listen to what the man is telling us, they're telling us everything we need to know.
That's right.
And with us not being quiet, you don't hear nothing. All you hearing is this, but just listen. I listened to everything that man told me about his career, about what he does, his sister, what happened. And I was like, okay, I took it all in. But at the same time, I bounced the ball in my court.
Okay.
In dating. Because I've been in relationships where I went all in and I did all the magical things. And what did it get me? A broken heart. So now this time, I play by my rules.
All right. That's great. Okay. That's great. Okay. The question I wanted to ask you was about his honesty. You said if he had just waited a few more days, you probably would have been on the same page as far as having sex with him. Because he wanted. I'm sorry. As far as having sex, is that what you were you referring to?
No,
that?
Not so much of having sex with him, but just like letting my little wall down because I was intrigued by the conversation.
Okay.
But I did like his honesty, but that wasn't where my mind was with him just yet. Because first off, I don't know you. I just beat cancer. I don't know where your mom been, who you been kissing with, all that. I don't want no COVID.
Right.
I have to have that safety boundary. But I have always, because I've dated and I've met some good men, I met some not so good men. But I'm not going to lie, I do have a little boundary wall. And I've been kind of like taking the wall down so I don't sound so abrupt, to a man. And I may hurt his feelings because I don't have a problem telling him like, nope, I don't care. And keep right on moving. I'm like, I can get 10 more like you. It doesn't matter. Because all y'all talking the same thing. You say you want to get to know me. You say, I want to have sex. You're saying all these things, but you mean nothing. Your value. I have a lot of quantity, but no quality.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
That is. It's a huge difference. What were you about to say?
No, I was just thinking about something as far as dating men. And I think one of the things when you said no quality, and Rhonda, you and I have had conversations outside of this interview. And one of the things that you spoke about, which I want you to kind of elaborate on that, is them being able to stimulate your mind, because I really feel like that was a struggle for me as well when I was dating 13 years ago, I guess now. But when I was on the dating scene, I think just being able to stimulate your mind, I'm not sure if men really understand how important that is for us women.
It's very important. So,
yeah, okay, but wait. I just want to. I'm not. I want
question
you.
Was for her.
I want you to answer. I just want some clarity. When you all say stimulate your mind,
she's elaborating.
Okay, but you're in this also. That's what I'm saying. When you're saying stimulate your mind, exactly what are you saying?
This is where she's elaborating. I just asked her to elaborate on that aspect.
No, that's not what I heard.
When you let the person
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me give you an example. I met a really nice gentleman, right? When he first met me, he says, I'm really quiet. I'm like, well, that ain't gonna do me no damn good. Okay. And I told him, I said, I need to have conversation. I need you to stimulate my mind. When I'm sitting here working on a project and a business idea, I need to be able to say, hey, babe, what you think about this? Yes, no, maybe so. Do you think it'll work? You can't stimulate my mind because the only thing you're thinking about is nothing. You don't even hold a conversation. So I need somebody like, we're grinding together. We're on different. We don't have to be on the same level, but at least be able to stimulate my mind. Let's talk about stock market. I love reading success magazines. I like Forbes. I read the Wall Street Journal. I've taken stock classes before, so it's like different things. I can talk about a little bit of everything. So it's like I need that stimulation. You know. We don't even have to always talk about something business. It could just be like, well, babe, how was your day today? Did you think about me? What ran through your mind? Stimulate this. I may want to send you a text message and say, be naked when I get home. Or I'm coming to your house.
Right.
I need some stimulation. And if I can't get it, everything else don't line up. It just don't line up.
And I think it's about bringing more knowledge to the table. Because a lot of men... I mean, when I was dating, talking to a lot of the guys, it was like, okay, what are you really trying to do with yourself and what are you trying to do with us? Because you're very stagnant. Your conversation is stagnant. We're not talking about anything that's going to push us forward. And in order to move forward, we got to have a stimulating conversation to go forward. Right? Yep. So there has to be some knowledge brought to the table. There has to be some challenges brought to the table. There has to be some creativity brought to the table. Now, I'm not the most creative person, I will admit. But you got to help me, so I can help you, so we can help each other.
Correct.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it can't just be that, oh, what time I'm coming to your house, so we're just going to watch a movie, so what else are we going to do? We're just going to lay here? No, like, what are we going to talk about?
Right. And they don't have any conversation. You know, it's like you have to create the experience trying to figure out the man. And if he's not creative himself and you're doing all the planning and all the activities, hell, you be like, well, can you do something? Can you go get a bottle of wine, picnic basket, something? I'm very, very creative.
Okay.
And I'll share my personal business. I don't care, you know. So I was talking last week, and I put in some work with this guy. I really, really put in a lot of work because I liked him so much.
All right.
She listened to you in class too, by the way.
Okay.
I went so far. I put rose petals down, bottle of wine, painted my nails the favorite color, everything, created this whole nice ambiance. And then he gets here and he can't perform. And I'm like, what the hell? I just wasted all this time. I was like, shit, I need to start asking for pictures. I'm not even like that, but my sex drive is through the roof. And to have your drive, being a cancer patient, you know, still taking the chemo medicine, and you get that sex drive and you're like on 140 and this person can't perform and you're like, what the hell just happened? What the hell just happened? And it was very, very disappointing. So I was just sitting here like, oh my God, did this just happen to me? Am I being a punk? Or what? What happened?
Is there a camera in the room?
When a man talks up to you and tell you what he gonna do, I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm listening because I'm visualizing. I'm
Right.
visual. I'm like, okay. I'm like, he don't know who he messing with. That's how I feel.
So
and then you don't bring your A game. You don't get a second time to repeat the A games. I'm like, I was very disappointed.
Let me comment for our listeners. The men, let me be more specific. It's in your best interest to stay away from bragging or trying to talk your sex skills up before you have sex with someone. Don't do that, because as a man, you never know what may affect your libido when it's time for you to perform. It could be anything from you drinking alcohol. It could be something you ate for dinner. It could be the fact that you didn't get much sleep before you went out on a date. It could be any number of things. So you're better off just not saying anything about how you're going to break her back when you get her in the sack, how you're going to blow her mind, how you're going to make her just have multiple orgasms and all that. Don't do it. Don't brag about your sexual performance. And in addition to that, let me say this. If you do find yourself in one of those situations that Rhonda's friend was in, your tongue should still be active. If you're able to talk, your tongue is still active. So at least if you can't, if you're experiencing a moment of ED, erectile dysfunction, you can at least proceed with some oral pleasure for the young lady. So that way, if it's somebody like Rhonda, she may give you a second chance if you perform well with the oral with the oral sex. Is that possible, Rhonda? would you have given him a second chance if he would have proceeded to perform some great oral pleasure?
Let me tell you, because I put in some work with this one. I mean, I took my time. I did everything by the book, everything. And I used to tease with the girls. I said, when I get him, I said, I'm going to tear that ass up. All I used to say. And, and I was just joking, but I was really for real.
Right.
But at the same time, if he would have probably performed better on the oral, it probably wouldn't have bothered me so much better up here mentally. Because it's not always about it. Sometimes you just need that man's touch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sometimes he already stimulates my mind.
Right.
The touch is great, but the performance was awful. You get an F for performance all the way around. And it was bad. It was bad.
Wait, I'm sorry. So just for clarification, was it that he could not, he didn't perform well, or his member stopped functioning?
Every single thing was awful.
Oh. Wow. So his penis didn't perform at all?
Just say this.
Oh, well, that's different. that's a size issue.
Different.
It is different.
Don't tell me what you gonna do to me.
True.
And you got this, and I'm sitting here like, well, what happened to the rest of it?
True. You're right.
If you know you're like that, your oral game needs to be tighter if you want to have that type of relationship, because we can substitute some things.
True.
I'm not perfect either, but I bet you what, you gonna know that Rhonda touched you. You gonna know that Rhonda brought her A game.
Right.
I'm not gonna do it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
And that was the thing. I was really kind of disappointed. It kind kind of shifted. Like when he texts me now, I just look like it takes me a minute to respond. And then sends me a text message and asks me, was I satisfied? I'm like, are you really asking me this?
Wow. Well, guys, men, one thing you should understand, if you have to add, and I had to learn this from a woman telling me about this, but if you have to ask her, is she satisfied? If you have to ask her, did she come? Yeah, you didn't do very well in the bed if you have to ask that question. You that's a question you shouldn't have to ask, because if she was satisfied, if she had her orgasm, she would let you know in more ways than one. She will definitely let you know.
I would agree with that.
I agree with that too.
That is true.
Yep.
Directly or indirectly, you will know.
Right.
You heard you.
Directly or indirectly, you will know.
If he handle his business, hell, I probably would have cooked a meal, took it over, dropped the mom. What's up? How you doing? When we going to dinner? It could have been a whole different ball game, but it was just bad. I mean,
So
go ahead.
what was he around your same age? Was he 50 and older? So
Yes.
do you think it may do you think he may have been experiencing the size issue just because of his age? Because the penis is like that. If you don't use it, it loses its girth.
I get it. I just think.
So you think it may have been because of his age?
No.
And him not being active as a 50-year-old?
I mean, he's very active. He does a lot of different things. But, because I asked him when was the last time he was in a relationship, and he said a year ago. And I'm like, okay, so that's not too bad.
Right.
But my expectations, because he's been talking all this crap to me, my expectations was here. Okay? So, I'm like, I'm going to the gym. I'm pulling weight. I'm working out. I'm like, I want to be ready.
Right.
I was going for other reasons, but I didn't build up that strength. So I was ready. I know that saying, man, men, not all women are like me. I just tell you like it is.
But the thing is, most men want women to be like you. They want women to be open and express themselves freely. Most men do.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
I don't think they can handle it. Because I'm not being funny. So since he did that big performance, I had to call like, let me call somebody else. And I didn't even want to go there because I hadn't been there. And because I have this relationship with this person and we're just friends, you know how they always say, you always have that person that you can call. I hated to do it. I had to make that phone call because it was 911.
Wow.
Because I felt like if I did not, it wasn't about the toy. It wasn't anything about that. It was really the touch and being where you needed to be at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He couldn't give me what I wanted because he didn't learn and he did not pay attention to all the conversations we were having.
Did he even try? Like, after he did he reach his orgasm?
No.
Oh, wow.
It's like something was really wrong. And I felt bad for him. And I don't think he knows how to have a conversation. I was going to have a conversation with him, but I didn't want to make him feel any worse than what he probably already felt.
Make him feel more uncomfortable.
Right. But we could have had a conversation because one of the things I really can honestly say, I really did like him. Really great guy.
You did like him? Did?
Yeah.
Did.
I did.
Yeah, because she said he's not going to give a second chance.
So, because I'm like, is there even an opportunity for a conversation at this point?
I would like to keep him as a friend because both of us have a lot of knowledge that we help each other with. But I can't see me crossing that road again because that is not going to happen. It's not.
Do you think you may have intimidated him?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Well, you said you have a dominatrix type personality. You said you have a dominatrix type personality. Do you think you may have intimidated him?
No, because he was talking all this stuff to me. I never did anything. I was pretending like I was a little schoolgirl, not saying anything, just like quiet, like okay,
right,
yeah,
okay. I see what you're saying.
I'm
right.
listening. I didn't tell him I had a door swing. I didn't tell him I had handcuffs. I didn't tell him I had a whip. I didn't tell him any of those things. If I would have brought that out, I probably would have put him over there.
That's a whole new level for him right now.
That's a whole new level. He didn't even know what I liked in bed because he did not ask the questions. We did not have those type of conversations. What he said, he just kept making little smart remarks. And one day we were out having lunch. He said, "You're going to keep it up and I'm going to bend you over." I said, "Really?" I said, "I'm going to call your bluff one day." So I called his bluff 2 days later. And he couldn't handle it. Wow. I waited 90 days. 90 days.
You did the 90 day. You did the 90-day thing.
I did the 90-day thing. I did it. I did a whole 90 days because I wanted to see if it really works.
Okay, so let's talk about that because there are a lot of women who follow their rule, and I think one reason there are many women that follow their rules because that's something that Steve Harvey talks to women about, using that 90-day rule.
But that's for women who don't have self-control. I have self-control, but I just wanted to see, going through asking questions, listening, how he treats you, how he respects you. Does he do what he says he's going to do? When you meet some of his friends, are you like the chick, "Oh, this is my friend"? You have to pay attention as a woman. A man tells you everything if we just listen.
That is true.
True.
So we get caught up in our feelings and our emotions when he's already told you he's not ready for a relationship.
That is true.
And we can't change your mind as a man because you already know what you want. Just because we want you so bad, that doesn't necessarily, we can be the best woman in the world, but until you're ready, it's nothing. So we have to listen. Us as women, we have to listen.
And stay out of our emotions.
Yep. Because men do it all the time. Men is going to have sex with you on Monday night, he over Susan. So, hey. But see, when we do it, we call hoes, and you know, they can't handle the truth. I'm just saying. He bite his lip.
I'm trying to give Star a chance to say something, so I'm slowing down for a little bit.
I think it's hard for me to speak because Rhonda and I speak so much off the scene.
Okay.
I mean, you know me, I'm an open book.
Right. So that's because everything that you're saying, we've talked about this before. But what I do want to ask you, jumping back a little bit, being that you have been through the cancer and you're getting back into that intimate phase, like how did that whole transition happen for you?
Well, first off, I had to rebuild my confidence as a woman. I didn't lose my sex drive. It just was paused. Okay? When you're going through cancer treatments, I've seen so many spouses and significant others leave their partner at the worst time when they need them. And that's a hurting feeling. Fortunate for me, I wasn't dating anybody at that time when I discovered that I had cancer. Yes, I have male friends that look out for me and all that stuff, but I'm really glad I wasn't dating anybody because just meeting when I started to kind of date and getting to know guys, I'll tell them, I'm like, look, some days I may not feel good. I may feel great. And then they was like, oh, I can't deal with somebody that's sick. I'm like, I'm not sick, I'm in remission, but I'm letting you know.
Right.
So that let me know that that's a person that I would not want to date, because guess what? If I get sick, your ass will leave me on the first ship out.
Right.
But what if the tables turn? What if I met a man that his health is great, and then all of a sudden tomorrow he's diagnosed with cancer? He wouldn't want me to walk out and leave him. It's the same thing. You have to have those serious conversations. That way I'm not wasting your time and you're not wasting mine. And it was really hard. It's really difficult because, yeah, I may dress up. I got this wonderful spirit about myself, but you don't know what I go through. And until you actually get to know me as an individual, you wouldn't know that I'm a cancer patient. You wouldn't know that I take chemo medicine 3 weeks out the month. You wouldn't know it. Even though I'm done, I still have to take that medicine. And some days I'm high and some days I'm low. But you wouldn't know that. So when that intimacy comes, when you have that energy that bursts and say, oh, I want to have sex, you want to have sex. So you either have to have a toy or somebody you trust that is just friends with benefits. I hate to say it like that until you find that right partner. Because you just can't go out there and just give yourself to this person, that person, because you don't know what they have. You don't really know where they've been. And when you and this person already have a relationship, a conversation, you know what's going on in each other's lives, it's a difference. And so that's really how it is. But dating, it's awful.
Well, awful. Do you think it would be easier for you to meet someone if you went out looking for a friend with benefits instead of trying to find a partner?
I can get a friend with benefits at any time. That's not the issue. That's not what I really want.
Okay.
I want my own.
You really want, a relationship.
I don't want. I mean, if I did the stuff that I know that I'm capable of doing, I'll have a $250,000 house built from the ground because I know what my capabilities are. I can play those games that other females out here playing, but see, they play on small leagues. I'm gonna play on major leagues. Okay, I have more white men right now today chasing behind me like crazy. It ain't my brothers, it's the white men. If I did the stuff that I hear about other women, like I said, they play on small leagues, my BMW will be paid for right now.
But you don't want to commit to that.
I don't want to commit to it. But I know I can have all the things I want because I'm dating a certain type of man. To me, I don't care how much money you make. I care about how you treat me. And if you're going to be there for me. You can have all the money and treat me like shit. Then it's like, what am I going to do that for? It's funny because I've seen some grown men work at McDonald's, waitressing, all type of. You don't know what his situation is.
True.
Right. So who am I to judge you? Like this one guy, he spoke to me and he just killed himself. Like he was like, "Oh, I know you would talk to a guy like me." Because he worked at McDonald's. I don't know why you work at McDonald's. That could be your second job, but who am I to judge you? But you shot yourself in the foot because guess what? Your confidence is not up there. Because if you put yourself down trying to meet me, saying I want to talk to you, you don't know what I would have done.
That's a fact.
That's good information though, because I think a lot of men, even if they try to be confident, and I don't know, maybe you can speak to this, but even if they try to be confident, I think their pride gets in the way because some men, with him working at McDonald's, for instance, like you said, you don't know what his situation is. So maybe his pride got in the way of his confidence. And I think that's something that men need to hear because I don't think they really understand sometimes that all women are not the same. And so they end up getting this mentality too. And that's how they mistreat us.
Right. Because I could have been, he was a nice looking guy. He could have been down on his luck. And I could have been like, what type of job skills do you have? Let me help you fix your resume up. Let's do this. Let's do that. because I'm that type of woman. Now, if I wasn't that type of woman, then it would be an issue. Then you'd be calling me all the other words. But because I'm that type of woman, you didn't even give me an opportunity. You just shot yourself in the foot.
Right.
I just kept on walking. I'm like, that's...
So his lack of confidence in himself, no matter where he was or what was going on, is what pretty much let that go for him, unfortunately.
Right. Because I'm like, if you ain't got confidence in yourself, how you gonna roll with me? Because I have big confidence. So
Right.
I need you to have that confidence. When you walk into a room, you're supposed to be like, I own this room. I don't care. This is me. You don't have to be loud or obnoxious, but just have that confidence. And if you don't have confidence, you don't have anything. So I find that's a really, really a big challenge for me. I meet a lot of guys. I asked a couple of my male friends, and I'm just saying what they told me. They was like, Rhonda, the way you dress and your confidence level and the type of vehicle you drive, he said, ain't no man dating you. He said, because when they look at you, they like, man, I can't afford to take her no place because she got a nice car. That's a car. That's material crap. I wouldn't care if you had a bucket, as long as we can get the A to B. I'm getting a bucket and we're going to A to B.
Right.
Because I'm not caught
but
up on your material. I'm not caught up on no car, and because you got on some fresh J's and you got in. I need you to be a man. I need you to pull your pants up, take all that crap off your face. I need you to look like a man with some intelligence.
Well groomed, dressed well, and intelligent.
I just need you to be clean, intelligent, and have some goals. Maybe we can work on your goals. What's your dream? What push you? What's your drive? What's your why? That's what I want to know. Because half the guys that I see driving these nice cars, when I see them pull up at the pump and put $5, I'm just being real. Because I've seen it plenty of times.
I've seen it also.
It's true. It's true.
And I'm like, you just trying to, where you going, down the street? Because that's the only place you're going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So it's not, I don't even look at me. When men had nice cars, I'd rather get that man with the bucket. I promise you I would. I'd take him with the bucket before I take the man with the nice cars, rims, and all that. Nope.
Okay, so I have a question. As a woman over 50, do you think it's a good idea? Well, as a woman over 50 who's struggling with trying to find a partner who's within your age range, do you think it would be a good idea for you to try to date a man that's younger than you?
Honey, I did that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. How did that work out? And would you suggest it to other women like yourself?
Well, see, here's the thing. Once again, you gotta listen. Because they feel like, oh, she need me. I don't buy men.
Okay.
I don't buy men.
Got you. And the younger men you're saying the younger men would think that because you're older, you need a younger man to help you feel like a woman.
And you know what I tell them? I said, honey, I got a house full of toys, a trunk full of toys. I don't have to put up with your BS. I ain't got to cook you no breakfast. I ain't got to do nothing.
Okay.
Because I play the game of chess. It's like, listen, and dating them, some of them are really cool. You can have a lot of fun with. So I have friends that's in their 40s that I hang out with. And we have a great time. No sex, no nothing. But I just hang out with them. And then I have men that's in their 60s. Now I have a man that treats me like a princess. I tell Star this all the time. I say I have this one gentleman. He treats me like a princess. All the time. But guess what? He lacks the confidence to even open up his mouth to say, Rhonda, I really want to date you. He does all the things that he wants to date me. But he lacks that confidence of opening up his mouth. Why do I need to open up my mouth like, hey, are you interested in dating me? Because he does all the things that a man would do if he was dating a woman.
So is it possible this guy is letting his actions speak for him?
Well, he better open his mouth if he wants to date Rhonda. And it's like, we have such personal conversations that, I mean, when I say personal, I know everything. If something would happen to him tomorrow, I would know what to do. That's the type of conversations we had.
Wow. That's interesting. So I know you read my book.
Oh.
And in my book, I talk about, using the percentage scale in choosing your partner.
I do.
Okay. So is this gentleman who treats you like a princess, is he at least 70% of what you want in a man? Is he 80%?
He's actually 85% what I want in a man.
So why won't you approach him and ask him the question? Why do you feel that he needs to ask you?
I like a man with confidence.
Okay, understood.
But do you think that's a lack of confidence?
Let me tell you, if you're confident to do all those other things and you're confident, we go out, we have a great time. I need you to have confidence to open up your mouth. Like when I used to tell him, don't do X, Y, Z, and he do it anyway. And then what I told him that was going to happen, and I just sit there like this. Told the dumb ass not to do the shit, but you still want to do it. So I need that confidence. I can't have no weak man, so that means I got to take care of you and me when it comes to confidence.
I totally I think I understand what you're saying, because if he's able, I think what you're saying is if he's able to do all these other things, he should be able to open up his mouth to you and say, Rhonda, I want us to be together. Right. I want us to be in a relationship. I want to be your man. I want you to be my woman.
And you know how long this been going on?
No, how long?
3 years.
Wow.
And he has not gotten the confidence up to say anything to me.
Well, you're allowing this to happen. You should just cut him. Oh, okay, right, because he's treating you like a princess. So you right.
Can I be complaining?
True.
Why would I complain? I got the best of both worlds. I have somebody to treat me like a princess. Yes, I'm dating, but until he opens his mouth. Because the Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. Not the woman finds a husband. It don't say that. So if he wants me, he's going to have to step his game up. He doesn't know that if he knocks on the door will open. But until he knocks on that door, that's like, you don't know what's on the other side waiting for you. Now, he has some things, like we all have things that we don't like, but his 85 outweighs that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he'll listen to this podcast and realize that it's him.
But you know what? Because one of his friends, I'm really good friends with one of his friends. That's how we started talking.
Okay.
Because one of his friends was like, "Oh, you and Rhonda should go out." I told his friend, I was like, "I'm gonna fuck you up," And that's actually how we started going out. And our very first date was Valentine's Day 3 years ago.
Wow.
So it was on Valentine's Day.
It was on Valentine's Day. I'll never forget it. We went to the movies.
So I'm not. There's something I'm not understanding, right? Maybe as a man, maybe I don't understand, but maybe you can help me to understand why. And I know you say it because he treats you like a princess. I get that. But what I'm wondering about is, why put 3 years, or why allow this man to put 3 years worth of his time and energy into you when you could be with someone else instead?
The thing about it is, it's not like we see each other, talk to each other every day or all this energy. So it's more like, hey girl, like I like football. Like I told him, I said, oh, your Steelers gonna lose tomorrow. and they lost. He was mad. He called me. He's like, "You chicks, stay stealing." So we talk football talk. We just had conversations, not like we talk every day. We may not talk to each other for like 2 or 3 weeks. Or he'll call me and say, "Hey, Ryan, let's go to breakfast.
Gotcha.
I'm going to be out your way. Can I come by?" Sure.
Okay.
Most of my friends have met him. They're like, "Rhonda, he's a really nice guy." I said, "Yeah, but he needs to get his confidence up."
I understand.
So,
he's missing out.
Yep.
He's missing out, yeah.
He doesn't even know. But I will say this. Every holiday, even when he's not feeling good, I have cooked him meals and drove it all the way across town, 35 miles, and dropped him off something to eat.
Why?
Because he treats me like a princess.
Okay. I can respect that.
And when I had issues with my vehicle, he said, "Rhonda, he just gave me a few $100 and like, I just want to make sure you good, you got gas, everything." Did he have to do that? No.
Right.
But he stepped up as a man and did it.
Right.
And that's the difference. Like I tell women, you don't have to ask a man for anything. There's men and there's little boys. And a man, if he likes you, he just steps up to the plate and do what he do. That's it. No questions asked.
True. That is true.
So that's the thing. So while females out here asking for $40 cell phone bills, some fingernails, stuff like that, that's not my category.
Okay, so let's go back to the younger men thing. You commented on how you feel about it. Would you suggest that to other women? Would you suggest that other women in your age range try dating a younger man?
Hell, a lot of my friends that's older than me that got younger men. Yeah. I have a lot of friends that have younger men. That's a play thing.
Oh, okay.
They playmates.
They're playmates.
So you feel, you and your friends, I should say you and your friends feel younger men are better as playmates, as you call them.
See, my playmates, I just hang out with you and have a good time, watch the game because I'm a sports fanatic. I treat you like a bestie.
Okay.
I don't treat you like I want to do you. I just treat you like we hang out, we have a great time, and that's it. Now, if I wanted to play with him, I can play with him because I already know because I listen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you're dating and Susie at the office is telling you, "Oh, you're so handsome. Oh, you look really nice. I like that shirt on you." And you're at home and your wife ain't saying nothing to you.
Right.
Now you starting to pay attention because Susie is telling you how nice you look, and you got a wife over here that's not telling you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what happens? Your mind starts to wonder, is it better over here? Or do I just stay over here? I meet on an average in a week, I meet about 8 married men a week. Just out and about. So if I wanted to play, I could play. But I wouldn't want that done to me, so I don't play. Because you got to think about the consequences. But if I wanted to play, because I meet so many men, it's like fair game. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it.
No.
Because you learn everything. Because I tell them in a minute, would you like to buy your wife something? Because when I see they ring, I'm like, "Oh, here's my card. You should get your wife something." Valentine's Day coming up. And right. Like, "No, she ain't getting nothing. I'm good. How you doing?" They ain't trying to hold the conversation. Hey, I'm just keeping it real with you.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so as far as dating within your age range, do you think you have a chance within the next 5 years of meeting someone?
If I don't meet nobody in the next year, I'm done.
Okay.
Wow.
I have a timeline. Really, I have it on my vision board this year when I was supposed to be married.
Oh.
That was on my vision board.
You set that as a goal.
Yeah, that was the goal that I created 2 years ago.
So you still have a chance. You still got.
Well, in 2021, that your goal is okay. Not 2020.
That was my goal in 2021 to be married. So that was the goal.
Okay. Maybe your friend, the one who treats you like a gentleman, he'll hear this podcast and
step it up.
Ooh, he better step it. He gotta do something. But it's really funny because us as women, sometimes we get caught up on looks, the type of job they have, and their financial income.
Mm-hmm.
With him, it is not on looks at all. It's not his financial income. It's not the kind of car he drives. I just like the way he treats me. He treats me like a princess.
Wow. Okay.
Because I was to the point where I was gonna call him today. I'm like, look, you've been doing all this little Peter Packer. What's up? Did I say, you know what, Rhonda? I said, you may intimidate him for real. Don't say nothing.
you from a male's perspective, you may have a better chance if you just come out and say what's up. And I'm saying that because you guys, I'm saying that because the two of you have a 3-year-long relationship.
I think it's now more of a friendship that you should be able to be that.
Right. So you should
be able to be that open now.
Yes.
Without feeling some kind of way about it.
Right. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is like, what are you doing? Like, just open your mouth and say something. I'm like, do I have to take control of this too?
Maybe you should.
You like to be.
Well, y'all.
You like to be aggressive. You like to dominate.
Right.
So the ball is in your court. Maybe he's trying to put the ball in your court like you asked.
And speaking of being dominated, he may want you to be the dominant one.
He may want to just be submissive.
Correct. He may want to be the submissive. And but the thing about that, you will never know if you don't start presenting yourself as the dominant one.
Oh, he already knows. He knows I'm dominant. I tell him what to do.
Oh, okay.
When I tell him to do something, he do it.
So I'm wondering why
he have not stepped up to say, hey.
Her issue is.
So you're saying that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Her issue is that. Because I was going to ask her, why is she just not doing it? But her issue is she feels as though there's a lack of confidence if a man doesn't step up to that and ask the question. Is that why you feel overall just a woman shouldn't be the one approaching and saying those things? Or asking?
We can do it. Don't get me wrong. We can do it if we want to. But my thing is this. Be a man. Just be a man.
But he is being a man.
I understand.
He just
but if he's and you know this, if he's a submissive, he's not going to come forward and say, "I want this to happen."
You better open his mouth.
He's not going to do it. What you would need to do, and this is for any wannabe dominance out there. If you have someone in your life who you know is a potential submissive, if you want that person to marry you, you're going to have to set up the scene and tell them, like in Rhonda's case, I want to be married within the year. Now I'm telling you this because you need to make it happen. That's what you would do to help your submissive carry out that task. If that's what you want him to do.
Listen to me. If I told him today, tomorrow, that I wanted to be with him and be married, I could be married in 90 days. If that's what I chose to do.
So
Okay,
why?
I'm confused
My
now.
question is, okay, I have a question. I want to step in
I'm
now.
confused.
Why are you torturing yourself then in the process if you know that you're?
Because, like I said, I like the way he treat me as a princess, but I need that confidence builder.
Okay. You're the confidence builder.
If he's a submissive, you're the one that's going to help with that, and you've already said the 85% is there.
Oh yeah, the 85% is there. But
and he clearly is confident.
And I have to be honest.
Okay.
I have to be honest.
Be honest.
You know, another thing too is like, do I really want an older guy older than me?
Okay.
Oh, now we have another.
That's where we're coming from now. There's another level to it.
It's another level to it.
Right.
Okay, so that's a decision that you have to make before you make that move. Okay, because we were getting a little confused for a minute. Like, he's 85% of what you're looking for.
It's like, okay, it's like I'm 51, you 62. I'm like,
okay, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Is he not able to say? Okay, because I have to ask, what's the problem?
Touch them or anything of those ways.
You have not had any type of sexual intimacy.
Mm-mm.
So again, I'm wondering what's the problem with his age?
It's not that. I mean, it's like little things. So I'll give you an example. I have to give you an example. So one day I brought this bookcase. Started laughing. So I brought this bookcase and I was like, I won't use his name, but I was like, hey. I was like, I'm gonna need your help. I need you to come over here and help me put this bookcase together. I'm just trying to, jokingly giving us some bonding. He goes, oh, my shoulder. I said to myself, but I bet you if I told you I wanted to have sex and you had to lift my legs up, your shoulder would be hurt. So then, like little shit like that, it just airs like. Even then he'll be like, Oscar bothering me. So I was like, who the hell is Oscar? Arthritis.
Like, oh, but see, sex is a different motivator than putting together a bookcase. That's a totally different. That's a totally different motivating factor.
But you don't know what could have happened while putting that bookcase together.
That's true, but you could also say the same thing about sex being the reason you calling him over there. He doesn't know what's going to happen when he gets there. He just knows you said if you come now and help me put this bookcase together, we may get together and have some sex. But then when he arrives, the sex doesn't happen. Did you understand what I'm saying?
But I didn't say nothing about it. But he doesn't know. All he started talking about my shoulder, arthritis, on my hip. I'm like, well, damn, I better not touch you because I'm scared you may fall apart on me.
Is he not fit? Does he not practice physical fitness?
Oh, he started to do it now because he see my boy going to the gym. Since I've been going to the gym, he got
hold up.
So again, you have stated that you are his motivating factor. Yes. You are his confidence factor. There's something else other than the age.
I don't want to be disappointed to get after what I experienced last week. And I've been knowing this dude for 3 years. If I do that, I'll probably just be ready to just jump off the bridge or something like.
Well, we don't want you doing that.
In that department no more. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Has he tried to be sexually intimate with you?
He's never even touched me in that type of way. He'll give me a hug, and I'll give him a hug back. But he's never, ever tried. Never. We done laid across the bed and watched the game like this. Like, never.
Do you all discuss your personal dating lives at all?
No, not really. He knows I date.
Rhonda, you
I'm difficult. I know
No.
we're not saying that.
That's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say, you know what type of man you're dealing with. I think you've decided you're not ready for him yet. I think you've made that decision that you are not ready for him yet. Because you just said you know everything about this man. Knowing everything about him puts you in a position where you can decide with confidence whether or not you're ready to be with him. And you've decided you're not ready to be with him. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Because I still accept applications.
Okay. That's fine. Let him continue to treat you like a princess until you are ready to be with him.
Right. And I don't push it. Like I said, I don't push the envelope out. I don't say anything. Like, he'll call and say, hey, let's go to dinner. I'll be like, okay. Tell me what time I need to be ready. And we go to dinner. We go to breakfast.
That's great. Because you're the ball, like you said, the ball is still in your court. You're still controlling everything. But the great thing about that is he's okay with you controlling everything.
Mm-hmm.
So just continue doing what you're doing.
I will. I will.
You should.
In confidence. I will.
Yes, in confidence. Wow, that's good. Okay, so is there anything else that you would suggest to women over 50 regarding dating and trying to find intimacy?
I would tell them, know what you want in bed. Know what you like. Don't always go for the guy that you think that has these, like I said, the fancy cars and all these different things. Oh, his swag. Because that don't mean nothing at the end of the day. You really need to know what you want. And if you have kids still at home, you need to pay attention. Do I bring this man around my kid? You got to get to know, make sure that that's the type of man you want to bring into your family if you have kids, okay? Because there's some women over 50 that still have some kids at home.
Right.
I would just tell them, you have to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you can't make that decision. It's not that I still want to play it. I still want to meet other men. It's just that over here, it's nice. But I got to make sure before I say I want to be with you that that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people may listen to this like, well, what the hell she complaining about? She say he treated her like a princess. He does all these things. But I'm looking at it from my mindset and stability like, is this where I want to be? Or do I want to stay over here because I have that, I know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So you got to really know what you want out of the relationship. Like I said, I would date him in a heartbeat. He just don't know it. I could pick up the phone and make that phone call and say, hey, I really like you. I really want to spend time with you and get to know you because you've been treating me like a princess for 3 years. What's going on? And it may not be in his mind that he may not even want to date me. He may just treat me like this because that's how his mother and father raised him to treat women that way.
That's true. That's true.
So then if I jump out and say I want to date you or do any of those things, and that's not where his mindset is, then who's going to look like the fool? He's just treating me nice and haven't tried to cross that line. But who's to say? So that's the reason why I stay in my lane and keep doing what I'm doing until he says, hey, I want us to be in a monogamous relationship. Because he could just be treating me as a friend, just really nice.
True. That is true.
So
that could be
I don't want to, you don't rock that boat. You just keep going like saying, okay, he hasn't said anything. So I'll keep dating over here until he says something because I may just be a friend zone to him.
That's
right.
True.
So I'm being very, very mindful of everything.
Okay. So it's good, like you said in the beginning, it's good to have that checklist and memorize it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Have the checklist and memorize it. So when you're having the conversations with these guys that you're meeting, like you said earlier, you're just checking things off on that mental checklist. All right, I like
Another
that.
thing too that women have to stop doing: stop going out on dates with men when you don't have money. Always have your own money.
Oh, definitely.
So when you go out to dinner, you order what the hell you want to order instead of sitting here like, I wonder do we have enough money to pay for this meal. I'm just being real.
That's true. That's true.
I had a man try to play me, and I got up and walked away from the table. And I'm just being honest. The server asked me, what would I like to drink? I told her my beverage. And so she asked me for my ID. I pulled it out. The gentleman ordered a drink. She asked him for his ID. He pulled it. He didn't have his. He would start patting for his wallet.
Oh, wow.
So when you pay for your wallet, he's like, oh my God, I think I left my wallet in my other pants pocket. This is our first date. You know what I did? I politely said, ma'am, cancel my drink. I got up, put my purse on my shoulder, and walked the hell out and kept right on going. Because I said, how many women are so desperate to have a man that say, oh, baby, don't worry about it. I got this.
Yeah. There are still men out there who try to play that game.
Yes. But I wasn't going to be one of them with him. So
That's
we
good.
have to think. You got to know, you got to have your own when you out here dating. Don't assume that this man going to do these things for you. Have your own. So then that way you're not dependent on him to do anything for you.
All right.
Because you have your own.
So listen, so far you've given the listeners two really good suggestions. One, have some money, or at least be able to pay for your own meal and transportation when you go out on a date.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the other was create a checklist of what you want in a man and memorize that checklist.
She gave two
right?
other ones.
That's two good ones. So let's end it with one. Oh, she did. She gave two.
She gave two other ones that I wanted to point out.
Okay, well, what were they?
For the women, especially, listen.
Yes.
Listen, because we don't listen, or if we do listen, we're listening with our emotions and not our heads, right? And then for the men, picking up their confidence and not allowing their pride to get in the way of their confidence, because you don't know what type of woman you might be missing out on.
Right. So those are four very good points of interest that you can add to your dating journal. if you're someone that's 50 and older who's still actively dating. Rhonda, is there anything else you want to share with our audience? Tell us a little bit about your business, maybe.
What's your business? You want to talk about that?
I am a pure romance consultant. I do in-home parties for ladies. I bring the excitement to the bedroom, so that's the reason why my confidence is so strong. I didn't let cancer stop me from doing my business. I continue on because we have some amazing products that helped me along that way that kept my sex drive going. So if it helps me through cancer, I know what it'll help you do without cancer. So that's one of the great things.
That's awesome.
So how can they find you, Rhonda? How can someone find you on social media or your website?
They can find me on Instagram at Creating Intimacy. And you can friend me there or go on Facebook, Rhonda Loyd. You can find me there and send me a friend request. Or you want to send me a message, say, hey, I heard the podcast. I got a question for you. I will respond. I have no shame in my game. I will respond. And then you can find me at pureromance.com //Rhonda Loyd 163761.
Awesome.
All right.
Yep.
Well, go ahead and close it out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Rhonda, for joining us on this episode of Love, Marriage, Fantasy. I think you have brought some really good information to the dating scene, to intimacy after 50, to intimacy after winning the battle of cancer. I think a lot of people, could definitely listen in to some of these pointers and get some good information. Not just men, women, both. I think it's going to help. It can help couples who are already together who may be struggling with some of these things just inside the relationship. So we definitely appreciate you coming on to this episode of Love, Marriage, Fantasy. And for all the listeners, we'd love to hear your feedback. Drop something in the comments below. Share this with your friends, with your family, anyone else that you feel can get anything out of this. And we look forward to y'all listening in to the next episode.
Rhonda, you're welcome to come back anytime.
Okay, I
was
may have
fun.
to come back and visit for part 2.
Right.
See what happens in the next 90 days.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
So thank you all for listening to this episode of the Love, Marriage, Fantasy Podcast. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, good night.
Good night.